Raising teenagers is an everyday task. Just when you feel like I have figured this boy out, that's when you're hit with news and you are extremely shocked. You're like, I need to breathe in and out. Oh my god, what should I do? What should I do? Well, relax. We are going to talk about what do teens want. Hello, my name is Sarah and welcome to Intentional Living. I'm excited to be sharing with you about teenagers. I know you're out there and you have a teenage daughter or a teenage son, or you have loads of them, like 5 of them, and you are running crazy, or you are watching and you're thinking, I don't have kids, how is this going to help me? Well, you could be expecting, or you have nieces and nephews who are teens, or you're a teacher and you actually handle teenagers, or in your neighborhood you see teens everywhere and all the time. This is the time for you. This is the topic for you. What do teenagers want? Teenagers want you to always listen to them. I mean, being a teenager means that you are on an emotional roller coaster. Every day is a day of dealing with emotions. You're too sad, or you feel too needy, or you feel rejected, or you feel people don't listen to me, or school just didn't go well, or you're just moody and you don't know why. That's what is always going through a teenager's mind. Now, as a parent or someone who stays with them, you actually have to listen to them. Most of the times we just come up with statements like, can you just get over it and do your homework, or I don't care what happened, I need you to get this done. We don't even take the time to sit with them and actually listen to them. I know in your mind you're thinking, I am the boss at work, or I have a zillion responsibilities. I have to pay the bills, that is rent, who actually gets the food here. If I don't get to work and don't get things done at work, then we are probably going to get shipped into the village. And you're thinking, I think this child of mine understands the responsibility that I have, and I know that even if I don't sit down with them and let them express themselves, it's okay. You actually got this wrong. Every teenage daughter, every teenage son wants a moment with their parent. And in these moments, all you have to do is listen to them. What's going on? I heard that you had a fight with your friend at school. What is it? Even when whatever they're telling you doesn't make sense, or you're thinking they're blowing it out of proportion, can you try to empathize? Can you try to put yourself in their shoes? That way, they feel valued. That way, they feel like you are listening to them. And trust me, the next time they're about to have sex, they will actually tell you, you know what? This is what I'm thinking about. And you're thinking, yeah. But you can get to that point of them opening up to you when you stop and listen to them. When you stop and actually listen, not just listen while typing and responding to a text on your WhatsApp, but actually listen to them and let them know that you care about them and you know what's going on and you're following up on their daily events. Teenagers are always looking at you, looking up to you. Your entire life before a teenager is a role model. Whether you feel like they pay too much attention to you or they do not, even when you're absent, you are actually modeling something. Always be conscious of how you act in the presence of your teenage children. With children in general, it's always monkey see, monkey do, and it does not only stop at the very lower ages. It also comes up to the teenage ages. The way you react to your spouse is actually creating a certain mindset in your child's mind. The way you react to people on the streets or in different spaces is shaping a certain perception in your child's mind. For instance, you are talking to the customer service lady and you're screaming at her. So this child actually gets to know, okay, it's very okay for me to just scream at that lady who's selling tomatoes, or scream at the border guy or the taxi conductor, because you have actually modeled that. When you're in the house and you're having a conflict with your spouse and you probably want to yell you are extremely stupid or you are such a failure, you just have to cut those words, because at the end of the day this child is going to do the same thing to the teacher at school, or do the same thing to their friend at school, or when they get married they will do the same thing to their wife or their husbands, because they grow up seeing that everything you do as a parent is actually shaping a certain perception or a certain mindset in your teenager's mind. Of course, at this point they're moving from a point of being so dependent and moving to a point of independence, but in between there they are picking so many things and they're trying to gather, is this right or is this wrong? Mom shouted at this person and they got away with it. Dad actually slammed the door and they got away with it. That means I can get away with anything. Mind what you do in front of your children. Teenagers also, mark my word, teenagers also would greatly appreciate that you give them realistic feedback. Most of the time we give our children tasks and we just say, oh, good job, well done, or you did an exceptionally good job today at school. Those words actually paint a certain picture in our children's minds. When you tell a child, good job, actually in a teenager's mind, they are thinking, okay, she didn't really have any other nice word to tell me, or he actually didn't pay attention to my work, or he was practically texting or chatting with someone on WhatsApp instead of actually listening to my presentation. So the summary of their appreciation is good job. Good job is so cliche to the mind of a teenager. What are some of the things you can say? You can have a conversation with them and find out, okay, this is what your speech was like. What inspired you to actually come up with that speech? And they will give you feedback. Or if you've given them a task, maybe baking a cake, and they put too much sugar and not so much salt, you ask them, okay, how many spoons of sugar did you put and how many spoons of salt? Why did you actually choose to put 10 spoons of sugar? And as they keep telling you why, they actually feel like, okay, I think mommy actually values my opinion. She has understood my choices. Now from that, you will you also be able to understand that, okay, I think that my child likes very sweet things. And you could give them a recipe and they come up with something else. In that conversation, that's when you'll see the creative bit of them. You will see the innovative bit of them. You will see that other side of them that you cannot see when you don't when you just say good job. It's also not a very good thing to tell your child that they are exceptional or extraordinary. I know that it's a very good practice to praise our children, but if your child has a low self-esteem, a teenager, and you're telling them you did an exceptionally great job, you are freaking them out. They are thinking, oh my god, now I've given my best, and the next time she gives me a task, I don't know if I can actually live up to her expectations. They'll feel like they have already set the bar so high, and the next time I want my mom to be so happy with me, I have to do something much better than that. Now you're putting them on so much pressure, and it will make them lose their self-esteem. The same applies to children who have a very high self-esteem. When you tell them they were so exceptional in what they did, the child psychologically thinks, okay, the bar is so high, and the next time they do something and they don't actually get the exceptional feedback, they'll feel like, okay, I let my mom down, and they'll feel pressured. So how can we avoid this? Talk to them, have conversations with them, engage them, find out why they chose blue over white. Even when you think that white was the best choice, they will tell you, okay, I think blue calms me down. That's when you're thinking, okay, I thought when you were growing up, red was your favorite color. Now you begin to realize, okay, I think blue is our new favorite color. Lastly, teenagers want you to give them opportunities to actually do things themselves. Yes, I know some of you in your homes, you have someone who does the dishes, you have someone who does the compound, you have someone who cleans the house, who washes the clothes, and you're thinking, I think my children need to relax. I don't need to give them more work. But it's very good to give your children opportunities to show that they are responsible, to show that they are independent. You could tell them, okay, today you are going to fix for us supper. What do you need? They will give you a list of ingredients, and yes, go to the shop and actually purchase them and give them and tell them to come up with something that is edible. There you're giving your child an opportunity to be creative, to be innovative, to actually show you that yeah, they are valued. And trust me, when they're in the kitchen, they feel like, oh my god, I can't let my parents down, I can't let the family down. They actually gave me this responsibility to make supper. Wow, I need to give it my best. I actually need to give it my best. Most of the times we are thinking, I need to lock the door. When you're going somewhere, you don't let your child take charge of others. You actually invite an auntie or an uncle to come over and watch over them. But what you're doing is denying these children a responsibility, an opportunity to actually become independent. When you give them those tasks, they become proactive children. They become solution oriented. These are the children who will not wait for you to say clean up. They will clean up because you always tell them to. You always give them the opportunity to clean up. These are the children who will always organize their rooms because you don't let someone organize the room, but you actually tell them to organize the rooms. These are children who will fix supper when you're running late from work with whatever is in the kitchen because you have always given them that opportunity to do that. Teenagers are in a space where they are tending towards independence but still dependent on you. When you give them more opportunities to do things in the home, to do things on their own, you are actually grooming them to become independent. And you find that in the future, these are the kind of adults who will be solution oriented at work. They will be highly proactive and actually on market. That's what I had for you today. In case you have not hit the subscribe button, please subscribe and send me a comment. Let me know how this video helped you. Remember, raising teenagers is not something that you can figure out in a day. It's a learning moment. If you're out there and you have teenage children and you have a challenge, write down a comment in the comment section and let me know what you would like to know more about. Have a good day.